When we ask a client to take the 2 directions, the 3 directions, whatever multiple directions we've presented to them, and we ask them to pick a lane, so to speak, you can see that apprehension. And it's just the human reaction to, oh, if I say yes to this, I'm excluding all of these other ideas that I've dreamt about, thought about, people have told me about or expressed to me, and all of these opinions. And it's the pressure of making the right decision.
Near the end of every road comes the time to make a choice. In a visual identity rebrand, we need to commit to one direction. Marketers and designers guide their clients through this process all the time. How do we make sure that we're choosing the right one?
Rex is a strategic and creative branding agency located in Vancouver, BC. On a mission to build brands that give a shit about people, Rex helps businesses define who they are, what they do, and their impact through developing brand strategy and creative marketing execution. In this series, we'll be documenting our journey at Rex Marketing and Design as we embark on our own internal rebrand. By showing you a behind-the-scenes look at our creative process and approach to building a visual identity, we hope to give you the tools to do the same for yourself, or feel more confident in leading your design team. At the end of this episode, we'll be sharing our checklist for how our agency confidently selects final creative concepts. In the last episode, the Rex team dove into creative research and put together creative territories and mood boards designed to help Allison narrow down the direction for the agency's new visual identity. Between the 2 themes of Radiant Rivers and Wondrous Waves, Radiant Rivers was Allison's clear favorite. In this episode, we'll see Christian begin to do the custom design for Rex. Experimenting with new tools and techniques he's never used before, he's in completely new territory. The team will present 3 options to Allison and need her to make the big decision of choosing the final identity. Let's take a look. Inside A Rebrand. Now that we've defined a clear direction with our chosen mood board, it's time for us to start designing stuff. Normally, when we design a full rebrand, we would start with logo concepts first and then work on the rest of the visual identity build-out. For Rex, we're doing a visual identity realignment because there's nothing wrong with the existing logo. So we're not doing a full rebrand. We're not touching the logo. Nothing about the logo is going to change. So what we need to create now is the key elements of the brand. So that includes a color palette, textures, treatments, styles, typography, everything that makes the visual identity really recognizable and memorable even when the logo isn't present. In order to design those things, we create full concept, build it out in the form of mock-up posters.
One of the things that we added to our process over the last few years is seeing the brand in the context of a poster and designed elements that look like a final product for marketing. What that allows me to do as the client is see the logo and the colors and the texture as an overall composition. We provide an opportunity for our clients to see how their brand will look in the real world.
With the first drafts of the concept posters created, Kristen showed them to Melissa to get the first line of feedback before presenting to Allison. After spending a couple days reflecting on the concepts and reviewing the initial strategy, Melissa asked Christian to meet and discuss her thoughts.
I'm gonna try to talk at an appropriate level. I think I was stuck on these because something about it didn't quite excite me as much as I remember the mood boards exciting me.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to figure out why, so I was opening up the mood board.
Yeah.
And can you actually open it up as well? I want to show you what I was looking back at. So the ones that really drew me when I was looking back at this, and I think the first time I saw it, was this area. So these 3 images specifically.
Yeah.
And I was looking to get that same feeling from the concept posters, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Okay.
Can you go back to the posters?
Yeah.
So what I think is done really well is the way that you've melded the colors together within these shapes. I think the way that these blend together is what I was envisioning as well. Thinking about different elements of brand coming together and then creating something new and growing and expanding together.
Yeah.
I think that's communicated.
Okay.
I think what's missing for me is the shape of both of these.
Okay.
Right now, they're both quite thin.
Yeah.
This one's kind of to me, I see it from left to right? So it's coming together and it's smaller. This one is also more contained.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting the same like explosive aurora energy radiating that I was getting from the mood board.
Gotcha.
How do you feel about that? Does it feel that way for you?
I know what you're saying. I was trying to think of like practical like ways that you could show it where you still had like a good amount of negative space. Like for this one, I wanted to show how this could be used almost like as like a like almost like a footer where it's like this like sliver of the design, but you still have all of this like blank space. You know what I mean? But I get where you're coming from, and I could, like if I could easily beef this up. Yeah. So maybe like
I think it's just the shape of it.
Across the like start going like
something like where it's like, imagine if you just spilled a bucket of paint, right? And it's kind of just like growing. She actually sent me a video over the weekend. She said it inspired her. We didn't really get to talk about it, but let's see. I think I understand what she's trying to communicate. So it's a video of a drop of ink expanding in water.
I think I've seen it before. Yeah.
And so like, there's something to it that's like, it's like growing in a way that's unpredictable.
Start experimenting more.
After incorporating Melissa's feedback, the team is ready to present the concepts to Allison.
So we're heading in to present the poster concept to Allison. I think with this whole stage of the process, I'm just like ready to see it all come to life. Honestly, I'm most excited about the end. Like when I feel like this is the turning point in the project where it feels like we're close to being done almost. Like once we pick this concept, it's just fine tuning and finessing like the little finishing touches, and then we have a new brand, like a new look, which is really exciting.
Poster 1 is the safest option. It's the closest to our current brand and also the most literal representation of the Aurora energy. Poster 2 really leans into the organic shapes. I wanted it to convey the flow of energy that Allison had been referring to in previous meetings. Poster 3 is the boldest of the lot. It's full color and uses darker tones as well as a number of vibrant orange colors. The shape has the purposeful forward motion quality that really captures the passion and energy of the Rex brand. Yeah, I'm most excited because this is the first time that Allison's seen like original work by us at this stage of the process. Like up until this point, it's been finding images online and presenting them to her. So that's one thing, but it's a whole other thing to produce work that like, I've never done this kind of thing before. I don't know how it's gonna land, but we'll see.
At this phase of the project, on the agency side, this is where we're full of like anxiousness because our creativity is on the line, and the client is full of excitement because they get to see whatever's been created for them. And so for me right now, I think what I'm most excited about is being on the client side, right? Like I get to see what the result is of all of this work we've been doing together.
The biggest fear going into this kind of presentation is always like, maybe none of them land, and we have to go back to the drawing board. We got to distill what she said, what she didn't like, and then try to figure out how we can move forward from there.
I think for me, I'm just assuming she's gonna love it. So my concerns are like thinking more about the next step. So after she chooses the concept, where do we go from there? What do we have to do next? So my brain automatically goes to, there's a lot of collateral that we need to like refresh or redo. Like how is it gonna look on our business card, on our website, on our letterheads? That's kind of the thing that's in the back of my mind. Like having seen the 3 concepts that we're going to show to Allison, now I'm thinking about how does this translate?
Implementation.
Yes, how are we going to use this on our materials?
Definitely. I
personally feel like poster number 2 and poster number 3, there's a way that we can combine those two, and I don't know if you agree, but
this is where I get concerned that it's going to turn into a hodgepodge of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of.
I don't think it's going to be a hodgepodge. I think 2 and 3 work really well together.
Okay, I'm interested to see your ideas on how to blend it.
I feel like we could use number 2 in instances where it's like clean and minimal, and number 3 in instances where we want it to be like bold and punchy. Ooh. So there's different feelings we want to communicate in different situations, right? So I kind of envision how those can be used together. In actuality, I don't know if it could work. You might prove me wrong.
I've got a feeling that she'll end up liking elements from all 3.
And so it's more of a matter of getting her to pick a favorite, just so that we've got we've got something that we can latch onto, and then seeing if we can pull the aspects from what she liked from the other two, and then go forward from there.
So Melissa thinks that we'll end up combining elements of poster 2 and 3, and Christian thinks that Allison's going to like all 3 concepts, but we'll be able to get her to pick just one. We'll see who's right.
When we ask a client to take the 2 directions, the 3 directions, whatever multiple directions we've presented to them, and we ask them to pick a lane, so to speak, you can see that apprehension. And one of the things that as an agency we have to do is guide them back to strategy, because the apprehension isn't usually anything more than a fear of committing to a specific logo or a specific texture, not unlike the pressure of choosing that one person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Like, oh my gosh, this is going to drive or guide a permanent line in my future. It can feel a little bit like that level of commitment at this stage. And so the concern on my mind really is, have I communicated my vision? You know, have I said what I needed to say to them so that they have a chance to bring this to life? And I do feel myself rewinding our conversations, and did I say this? Did I say that? Is that going to come through in the final product? Our process is pretty good. Honestly, we haven't had any big misses over the last 3 years of this agency where a client hasn't liked any of our directions. So I have a lot of faith in the team. I have a lot of faith in the process. And I hope that the team has dealt with scarier clients than me.
In this meeting, the objective is for Allison to choose one concept that will be the final identity for the Rex brand. She'll be judging to see which concept best aligns to the strategy, resonates with the target audience, and elicits the strongest gut reaction.
So today we have poster concepts to show you. So what we try to illustrate through these concepts is different ways that we can approach textures, treatments, different typography styles, different color palettes.
Yeah.
And so we want to kind of narrow in the direction for each of those. So the objective is for you to choose one of the concepts that we can finalize and build out with the brand guide.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's just dive into
So,
it. There's
yeah.
nothing really else to say. It's on the iPad.
Okay, so just scroll through.
Scroll this way,
start
scroll that
with
way.
Okay, wait, so
number 1.
prepare me.
Yes. You're seeing just a complete revamp, basically. The only thing that's going to be the same in each poster is the little logo.
How many posters?
There's 3.
3.
3, yes. They're all
Dun,
very
dun, dun.
different.
Okay, ready.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I actually just had a feeling right here, like where everything kind of went like, I don't know how to describe it, don't know what it means, but it just went, like all my energy came up to my heart. It's really cool.
Is it like when you're on a roller coaster? And you're
No,
swimming?
not like a, no, it was like, it's super powerful, like all of the negative space. The feeling is right.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to see all of them before I
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. Picking them apart.
Yeah.
That was a reaction.
I actually feel I'm gonna cry. That's new. There's something about, okay, I'm actually, okay, like literally it's this feeling that I want to communicate that a brand is, that connects people. There's so much flow to that, okay? Yep.
Okay, number 3.
Ah, there's fire. I love it. Can I have both of the second and the third one?
Oh!
Can we do both? Can we do both?
Yeah, we can do both.
Christian's gonna blow his brains out.
No, I know this is. I was kind of hoping that if you were gonna pick 2, these would be the 2 that would pair the best.
I mean, I don't. So okay. So the second concept is light, and like I feel the energy. There's something about connection, but this is like connection on fire. Like this is like what happens when you connect a business with their brand and a brand with an audience, and like magic happens. Like that's what this is. So I feel as though it's part of the journey. Like this is this entity, and if you channel it, like I don't know,
Lift off.
my words are okay, don't kill me. Like literally, this is like just that peace that you feel when you have a sense of control in your marketing. It's tranquil. Okay, this is not helping you. I want them all. I feel like we were talking about a client like yesterday that said they want them all.
Now you're that client.
Now I'm that client. Okay.
What would you say is the key visual? Like if there was one thing that you want to be the face of the brand?
I think this, because this is what everyone wants to feel. I think our clients want to feel is just on purpose and direction, like aligned and like building that vision, making stuff happen. Like I can't even tell you the emotion that I'm feeling looking at this. It represents that breakthrough that I love to see in our clients when they're like, this is our brand, and they feel proud, and the team is like, wow, I'm proud of who I work for. Yeah, it's definitely the bold one. That's the key visual, for sure.
That was a huge success.
That was awesome. Oh my God, I can't believe how happy she is.
That's that moment when you're going into it, you're like, oh my God, is she gonna hate all of them?
Yeah.
She liked all three.
Yes. And it was crazy how, she had a positive reaction to the first one, but basically with every concept that she saw, she got like more and more emotional about it.
Aggressively more positive.
Yeah.
I guessed it too, that she was gonna like elements of all three.
I felt like she was gonna like all three, but when she said, can we actually combine elements?
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe
This is always what we say not to do for the client. It's like, pick one and let's go with that.
Basically what she said is all three of them tell the right story that she
Yeah.
wants to tell. So you unknowingly created
A narrative.
three different stages of the narrated journey of our audience.
Yes, subconscious brilliance.
Yeah. No, it was totally on purpose, right?
Oh yeah, by that. So yeah, for the next stage of the journey, I mean, the part that I'm probably concerned most with would be coming up with a system where we can reproduce this. And it doesn't take a million hours, like, because I put quite a bit of work into sort of figuring out these initial ones. But yeah, now it's going to be streamlining the process. And coming up with a way that like other designers or other like you guys can do on the team, so that like it's something that is very it's not too complex.
For
like
sure.
I want to simplify it now.
Something that I can just like drag and drop, so I don't have to play around with anything to do with the technology.
Or I could teach you how to use Photoshop and you become a wizard like me.
That would take too much time. For sure. That would take years.
In the next episode, the final product is coming to life. We'll be building out brand mockups to see how the visual will look on different applications and testing how adaptable and flexible the identity can be by starting to design branded collateral. It's all coming together in the next episode of Inside A Rebrand.
So we're going to be sharing our checklist for how to know if you're choosing the right creative direction. So there's 3 things that we always check back on. The first thing is making sure that it's aligned to the original strategy and communicating the right message. So for the Rex brand, for example, our key message that we needed to communicate was the radiating energy and the idea of brand as an entity that is organic and growing. So with our concepts, poster number 1 really communicated, I think, that Aurora Borealis radiating, and concepts number 2 and 3 really communicated the entity that Allison is always talking about. So we made sure that we were telling that story with all the concepts.
Exactly. Then the second thing you want to make sure that you're focusing on are the visuals actually communicating or like delivering that gut reaction that you want them to. So with posters 1, it had this like calming effect that Allison was referring to. Number 2 was more of like going on the journey and that sort of that you haven't found clarity yet. But 3rd was when you've channeled your energy and you're propelling yourself into motion. So each 3 were having quite a different emotional reaction to the visuals. So it's picking which one you want to go with and making sure that that's the key feeling that the visuals are going to deliver.
And then third is tying it back to the audience. So checking to see, will this resonate with my audience? And we have key audience personas. We know who we're talking to. It's small business owners and entrepreneurs who really care about making a big impact. So with each of the posters, Allison basically went through and checked, is this going to evoke the right thoughts, feelings, inspire our audience? So we look back and check and see if it's going to connect and resonate with our key audience for each concept.
Exactly. So next time you're reviewing a creative project, try out our checklist.
See you guys next time. Thank you everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Inside A Rebrand. Our team has really enjoyed documenting this process and sharing our learnings with you along the way. We'd love to know what you think so that we can continue to make this content valuable for you. What did you think of the 3 concept posters? What kind of questions do you have about how a project like this wraps up? Let us know in the comment section below. Give this video a like and follow us for more content just like this.